Hi, hi, hi. Hi, everyone. I am Tara, aka Spirit Mother, and I would like to welcome you all back to my channel on YouTube, Spirit Going Self, on TikTok, 1974 Enlightened Soul, and I'm also live on my Facebook on there. If you're new to my channel, I always recommend, suggest people to read the description of my YouTube channel, Spirit Teachings Going Within Self, to get a better understanding of what it is that I bring forward on my channel, because it's all over the place, and I'm constantly channeling spirit. So whatever spirit brings forward, that's the message that's out there. Now, I was watching a young woman's video today. I don't know if I saved it on my TikTok or what, but she was talking about like spirituality. She said she wants to be done with it. So my thing today is truth about spirituality. Okay, spirituality is not a fun picnic. Okay, it's deep. It's hard inner work, and it's calling out and putting the darkness in the light. It's not about reading your tarot cards and doing your psychic readings and what have you. That's not what it's about. That's a piece of it. That's a small piece of it. Because if you're doing that, you're actually supposed to be teaching others how to do it for themselves so that they can become enlightened and awake. They then become their teacher. You are the guide, you are a teacher, and you teach. But if you're going on and you're just like charging people because you want to give them readings and what have you, and you're not teaching them how to do it themselves, then you're not a teacher. Okay. Now, people are under the perception and understanding that to be spiritual, you have to destroy your whole life. You have to, like, you gotta live on this. You gotta either live in the streets or live in your car. You can't have friends. You can't have family. You can't have a job. You can't have this. See, the thing is, with your spirituality, that all comes with it, okay? Because you will find your unique place, because you have a unique place. To this young woman, if you do tarot cards, teach others how to do tarot cards, okay? Teach others, okay? Because that's where you're going to find what your true calling is. It's not about reading the cards, okay? And if you're doing a one-on-one, you turn the card reading also into spiritual guidance in the sense that when they're asking a question of what they want you to find out within in the cards, you're there to help them pull it out of themselves. You're not to give them the answers. It's not about giving the answers. It's like fucking cheating on a test. You don't learn anything from cheating on a test. You just learn how to cheat. You don't learn anything like by studying. You just learn by memory. That's not learning. That's memorizing. So the spiritual journey is not about, like I said, it's not about like, giving up your house and going living in your car or living in a tent somewhere on the streets or what have you. That's the system that wants you to believe that that's what you're supposed to be doing. Do you ever notice that that's more what's in the biblical text? But these ones that are in charge of your biblical text, and they say that they're teachers, they're not fucking poor, are they? They're not living in their cars. They're not living on the streets, are they? So if you're listening to people that's telling you, you have to disown your family members and you have to disown your jobs and what have you, okay, you find your calling. And the true spiritual part of it is you're the one here to break the system, to break the dogma. You're the one here to, you're here to share your story, share your journey with others so that others feel more comfortable to share theirs so that you all know that you're on common ground. But you're too busy listening to all this fucking dogma shit. Did Jesus leave his family or did he walk with his family? Ah! See, fuckers! Hmm. See? You know, they want you poor and broken. But you are the lion and the lioness, and you are supposed to fucking roar your truth. And my question is, why aren't you? Why are you there saying, oh, love and light, love and light, love and light? Well, do you see love and light in the world right now? Seriously. The only way you're going to get to love and light is by exposing the darkness, showing it its own shadow. Seriously. I knew I met a guy when I was in the psychiatric unit the first one. Okay. He had a place to live and everything like that. And you know, the darkness will guide you away from people. That's why it says that it will divide you. Because it will fill your head with a bunch of bullshit telling you that you know you got to run from your family instead of working the shit out. You got to kick the shit out of people so that they'll fear you. You know, all I've seen in religion is people fucking kicking the shit out of each other verbally, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And you know, religious believers, they'll want to smack me upside my head. Well, I just did it for you. You know, you preach about, you say about spirit, you come on here with your cards and your psychic reading, spirit, 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 spirit. Do you even fucking know what spirit is? Have you actually fully connected to spirit? Because if you don't see that I connect with spirit, then you have no fucking clue what spirituality is. I may look like a raging lunatic at times, but I don't come on here and do cards. I'd rather come and have people like find the answers themselves. Teach people how to go inward and find the answer themselves. But the way you're going to find them is by speaking your truth on here, speaking your experiences of what the system fucking puts you through. But will you do that? No. It might incriminate me. Or I might look like the good person I perceive myself to be, but really deep down, I'm really fucking cold. I got some issues with people. Don't we all? Am I mocking you, criticizing you? No, but you think that I was because you know the system programmed you to think that somebody was like me was just being a fucking asshole. Seriously. You're not supposed to be sleeping in your fucking cars and robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like, fucking Peter and Paul. Fucking grow up, man. You know, when you're doing that, you're fucking condoning the criminal activity that goes on because that's where you're going to see it most. But what do I know? I know what I see. I know what I hear. I know what I experience. But others will tell me, oh no. I look at things from a different perspective. You know, you look at you look at the movie The Matrix. They pull him out, he doesn't have a job, but he still has a job. And then you look and you see all these people under fucking ground hiding from it. Why are you not screaming about it? Why are you not telling your story? You want people to understand you. You want other people to see where you're coming from, but you think spirituality is just walking in the fields and fucking picking your little flowers and I don't want to hear that. Oh, block it. Oh, block it. Block it. I can't hear it no more. Fucking deal with it. Like you tell everybody else to. Yeah, I am spitting. When you feel spirit and you experience spirit, you understand spirit. You understand what everybody else wants to say, only they won't say shit if they got a fucking mouthful because they're afraid they'll end up with no friends. If you end up with no friends because you speak your truth, then they were never your fucking friends to begin with. Do I cuss? You know, I guess the masculine cusses a lot, hey? Burita mosita. Misuku shaka yasaka musuku, eh? Seriously. You want to scream about people living out on the streets and they're stealing from you and they're doing this and they're doing that. They're trying to survive because they believe the system that said that they had to be poor in order to find God. Are you fucking mental? Oh, wait, no, your system worked. I watched a thing where they were talking about Israelites that they're killing Israelites. They're going into Israel and killing Israelites, but they're splitting hairs because they're saying, well, we're not killing the Jews. Well, if you're killing Israelites and there's mostly Jews, then you're fucking killing the Jews, jackass. What the fuck are you killing Israelites for, anyways? You know, is that spiritual? Or do you think it's a fucking power grab and power trip? Because you get to stick your pecker in the air. You know, you wrote fucking bowing on it, like getting on your knees and bowing forward, and you're fucking, oh God, help me. You know, I'm in this predicament. I need a job, Lord. I need a job, Lord. Why ain't you got a job? I ain't got a job because I ain't working for a fucking system that I don't want to be flipping burgers. And they make it extremely impossible and hard for someone to get in university. They think just because you don't have your great 12 that you're stupid at what it is that you want to take. Well, obviously, you're not stupid at what you want to take if you want to take it. You must know something about it because it's your interest. But you're listening to a system. I wanted to go to university. I wanted to learn about religion, the study of religion and ancient stuff and all of it, just a mixture of it to be able to understand people better. To find out how to actually help society in a society that is fucking fighting and bickering over fucking color, gender, religion, basically your belief systems. You know, every part of it is part of it's a system. No matter how one looks at it, spirituality is considered a form of the system too. But spirituality is supposed to keep you to spirituality is to bring you closer to one another, bring you closer to the earth, bring you closer to the actual spirit of it all, which is love heart. Having empathy. You know, there are times where I feel pretty fucking dark. Like I really like I get to the point where, you know, I don't give a shit about anything. We get to the point where I just want to tell everybody, go fuck yourselves. Sometimes even including myself. It's not about running and hiding. It's about facing it, facing the darkness, facing those ones that fucking are hurting you, whether or not, you know. Do you know how much I've put out here on my live videos about my life, about my family? Do you know hardly anyone talks to me because I put my truth out there? The only way you're going to put it, the only way that you're going to get it like out and things are going to get resolved. You know, people might fight a little more, but if you're not telling what it is, because someone will shut you down. But you're here to relate to people. Seeing that, you know, you have more in common than what you fucking realize. You know, I'm not on here to like bring shit about what's going on in the government. Sometimes I bring stuff like that, but I'm here to fucking shake the shit out of you and wake you the fuck up to see. It's not about like you need money to live. Yes, I understand that. But if you're a card reader or you're a psychic reader or what have you, you're not supposed to be making money off somebody else's misery. You're supposed to teach them how to come out of it, how to bring themselves out of it. So if you're on here and you're preaching about spirituality and all that shit, and you're fucking taking money from people because they're coming to you for the card, are you teaching them anything? Or are you just taking them their fucking money? So they keep coming back for more. Give them a little bit, much like your government, right? Give them a few dollars, give them a few words, and you know they'll keep coming back because they want to know more. But how about you teach them how to know more? Seriously. It's not about like quitting your spirituality. It's about understanding what it is that spirituality entails. But you know, it's masculine. Oh, you're just a girl, and you're just a fucking pompous ass. Cierto приемно turística. Some people look at me like I have 100 heads, and you know my own. Because you know, if for anybody who figures that they should suppress somebody and have somebody feel like they can't be themselves, that's their fucking insecurity, and they're reflecting it on someone else, which makes you an asshole. What, I'm calling you names? I guess I'm just being you. You know, everyone can do it. You just need to go inward. But you also need to expose the system for what it is. All of its ugliness, all of its lies. When it says that it's doing good things, why the fuck are you speaking up and saying about what it's actually doing? What? It makes you too vulnerable. Be fucking vulnerable. It's human. The system don't want you, don't the system wants you vulnerable in a way where You think, oh, I can't do anything for myself. I got to go to somebody else to do it for me. No, you got to learn to go to you. You're going to go through the negative talk. But the stuff that you believe to be negative talk, tell your story, do your confession instead of going in a fucking pew and saying, "Oh Lord, forgive me for I have sinned. This is my confession for the week. Meanwhile, I'm only going to confess for a moment, and then when I walk out the door, I'm going to do the exact same fucking thing because I know if I go back and I confess again, you're going to fucking forgive me." Seriously, this here is a cross, supposed, but I see the cross as a little T, standing for the Trinity. And if you look at the movie, you have Neil and Trinity. What would Neil be short for? Neurodivergent? Seriously. Neurodivergence awareness. And then Trinity, she's a fucking fighter. But you're gonna go listen to the fucking fake systems that, I watched a thing where um Reddit gave people like did a heads up thing or something like that, anti ISIL or what have you. And I watched it, and you're playing right into your fucking hands. Do you not get it that they want to do this so that you create chaos yourself? Then they can come in and say, "Oh, we got to claim martial law." Bitches are all screaming they're going to claim martial law. They're going to claim. I wonder fucking why. Because you're falling right into the fucking trap. You're falling right into the system. Hello, seriously. You know, I needed that tough love back years ago when I got it. Because I found out that I was actually keeping myself stuck because I was keeping myself fucking silent. And that's what they want you to do. They don't want you telling your story. Seriously, I had people hear people saying that, they get shadow banned or they get their videos deleted or what have you. Are you speaking your truth or are you just like speaking individual words so you can get your followers and don't forget to tap that button, tap that like so I can get more so that I can get around to more people. This young woman that I was watching, she said about how these spiritual so-called gurus that'll come in and say this, yeah, they do destroy a lot of lives. Because you're actually supposed to be talking with them to help them figure out what it is that they're trying to figure out. Because you ain't got the fucking answers. Not even your cards got your answers. It might be a little bit of a guide, but you need to find out what frame of mind that person's in and how they're going to take that and understand it. Because it's not how you fucking interpret it, it's how they interpret it. Because you don't know their life unless you talk to them. Got to go back to doing your cards. You might make 50 cents. You know, the cards, like I said, they're tools. They're learning tools. They can be used to teach us. But you can't just do the cards and not the conversation. You can't have one without the other. Because if you have one without the other, then that just tells me that, you know, you're only in it for money. You're profiting off somebody else's misery, which makes you pathetic. Seriously. I'd love to go on here and on TikTok and that and actually see people teaching others how to do it. I don't come on here and do cards, but I don't see others on here teaching either. I see them on here. Oh, like, you know, my highest gifter, here, let me dance for you. Oh, let me dance. Saying how I see it. I got nothing else to offer except for shaking the upper body just a little bit. What do you really bring to the table? And I'm not talking like this fucking buffet shit. People are screaming for help. Mental health is at an all-time high, which is a lack of spiritual health, spiritual growth. And you want to come on here and you want to talk about spiritual. You want to say that you're spiritual and you're this and you're that. And you're a spiritual guru. Well, why the fuck are you teaching people? Estoy. You're gonna sit around and say about not having this and not having that. We don't have it because of our own doing in retrospect, because you're not looking at it from the appropriate perspective. Seriously, you need to figure out what fucking spirit awareness is first. You probably don't even know what self awareness is yet, but you'll come on here and say that you're a spiritual guru or you're a spiritual reader or what have you. Why aren't you teaching people how to do it? Why aren't you talking with people? Why aren't you telling your story, your truth? Get out of the fucking pew, out of the silence. Get out in the crossfire like you expect other people to do for you. Look like the fucking asshole when you need to be. But keep your fucking hands to yourself. I'm not on here to belittle you. I'm on here saying that we just don't want to say to other people for fear that, you know, we'll make them cry. Well, I'm here to tell you, people made me cry a lot, and they still do. You can get the sweet or you can get the flame. And when it's flame, it's not an average flame. It's like I feel people's throat, I feel your throat, I feel your voice, and you're fucking suppressing it yourself because you just need to allow that to just plug your ears. That's what you need to do. For fuck's sakes yourself, go outside then. Do that. Seriously, it feels fucking good. But your sister will say, "Oh, well, that's inappropriate." No, you're inappropriate because it hurts because feelings hurt you. Just somebody brought about PTSD to my and said they have suffer from PTSD. Dude, I'm supposed to understand you, but you think that I didn't suffer or still don't suffer from fucking PTSD? You fucking like what? You think you're the only one? Everybody else is supposed to understand you, right? But fuck everybody else. Now, spirit's telling you you need to face that PTSD. Stop avoiding looking at it. It's gonna fucking hurt, yeah. But you need to find that person that's gonna help you through it, not somebody else. It's not somebody who's gonna just say, "Oh, well, I got PTSD. I got PTSD." Good. So do so many other people. But you don't hear them going around saying about it all the time. But maybe they should speak up and talk about what their PTSD is. Release it. Stop holding it in. Stop avoiding it. People like some people they won't even look at fucking photo albums because it reminds them. Fucking look at it. You need to. Because obviously if you're not looking at it, you just keep fucking pushing it down and pushing it down. And when it comes up, boy, it's gonna fucking go harder. And it's gonna hurt bad. Because I'm telling you all right now, spirit is gonna make you look easy, or you can make it difficult for yourself. Spirit didn't come here to defend you. Spirit came here to exorcise your demons. Disipata por ejemplo, y solo que estoy, sapo por and I feel like I know like I can't put it out, but I feel it in my body, and I know that it's spirit to spirit. Everything with me is spirit to spirit because I don't see you as a person. I see all those versions of you. Every time you change spirit, see, I know when another spirit takes form within a person. I was at dinner yesterday, and I don't. And I told someone, I was sitting and was looking at them, and what I got out of that was, if any of you ever saw the movie Life with Billy, that woman that killed her husband because he was beating her black and blue, he was beating his children, he was making his children birth, he was putting chastity belts on her. Everybody was petrified of her, even worse, petrified of her, even worse. He was a fucker. He was a fucker with us. But his childhood was because he had it. Am I making excuses for what he's doing? But I looked at this person and I said, this is who we remind me of. The guy offended. And then all of a sudden, it was like the spirit of that man. picked up the person that had this spirit. Had, say this is a glass bottle. Because I go spirit to spirit, so I hear the spirit speaking to my spirit. Take the glass bottle and like this. Mm. Into spirit, I said, yeah. Because that's spirit. When you fucking take that bottle, it's like, oh, this is what the parts of spirituality is. It's recognizing that it's not that you say change. It's not it's that physical body, but the spirit of it, the essence of it is not. That's why it was said they know not what they say or do, but it was never really explained in the understanding of what was meant by it. But you know, Peter all the place. It's like, why haven't you learned? See, the thing is, feminine is more in tune. Feminine energy is more in tune with spirit than a masculine, because a masculine has more on its ego, and nothing is other than what it sees. If you don't see it, it doesn't exist. Everything has to be controlled. Now, because spirit is in control. So when she said that she wasn't working, doing spiritual work anymore, don't stop. You were just told all the wrong things about it. It's fine to have rituals. How are you using on here? Oh, contact me, contact me. I have a love spell for you. I have a love spell for you. You know what? Real love doesn't need a spell. Ah! See? Create, you fucking wicked. You know, maybe people don't like, like people don't want to be around me in ways because, I might say something that they don't want to hear, whether it's just in conversation or because I've just read them. And like I said before, if I'm reading you, it's because you opened yourself to me, and there's nothing wrong with it. But with regards to what you're doing for other people, like I know someone told me the other day that I'm going to say it because, I hope she gets this because I see her fucking potential and she's goddamn motherfucking wasting you pieces of shit workers. Or not workers, employers. It has no appreciation and respect for them. They just see that she'll take the shit, she'll come in when she's called. They told me the other day that my sister went to the whole day up because they called her. Do you know what these people did to her? Seriously. Her employer, her son died suddenly. She stayed off a month and she went back to work roughly 6 months later or what have you. She couldn't do her job. They convinced her to go off on stress leave. She went on a stress leave for, was it 6 months, 2 years. She still wasn't even ready to go back. She went back because she needed to. She went back and they demoted her. They took her original job of sitting in an office that she worked years to get from working in a warehouse. And when she went back, her job was gone and she was put back into the warehouse and she was demoted. That's crazy. So she worked there for a bit. And then it would come on for Christmas, and they were supposed to get a Christmas bonus, which she had gotten one every year, and she had been back for like 6 months again. She didn't get a bonus. Everybody else got a bonus. She didn't get a bonus. Keep in mind, she went on stress leave because her son died suddenly. And these government officials will fucking protect these fuckers of assholes. If I had been my sister, I would have fucking tore the thing apart, the place apart. And I would have ripped them a whole new fucking arsehole and I would have made them low to the low that the lowest they are. She would even go over to Bud and she would paint. And my dad told me the other day last week she went to work. I know she wants to feel good. But you just need to follow that dream that you had because it's still there. It's still attainable. You just got to see it for yourself. Look around you. Look at what you've done and you've accomplished. Many people have seen it. Why are you wasting your life on those pieces of shit? And she went out. She told him she was done. She wasn't coming back. She went back. That's not where you're meant to be. They have no respect and they have no appreciation for you. which I love doing. But working in a warehouse because you need to you follow your dream, you let it go faster than what it will while you're working at that piece of shit fucking asshole run business. This is what love is. When you see so much better for somebody else. This is what spirituality is. Speaking up about the elephants in the room, showing people that real love is not running, it's confronting it. For people saying that I'm just an asshole to the system. These people just have to be right. There's a time to be soft, sweet, and gentle, and then there's a time to be hard, tough, and assertive, and sometimes aggressive, but not physically. Sometimes you have to make people feel right so that their truth and frustration and anger will come out. That's what people don't see. No, you're not somebody's verbal punching bag. You're not somebody's physical punching bag. But you are there to help them speak the truth. You're not there to give them the answers. You're there to help them find the answers. That's why they don't want people communicating. It's better to keep people fighting. And you know, these ISIS and what have you, whatever the fuck it is, and the police and the military, every parts of it, and you know, the ones that are supposed to be standing up and fighting for the people, helping the people. If you're going in and you're like, causing fear, panic, anxiety in people, you're a disgrace to the military. You're a disgrace to the police force. You're a disgrace to anything that is affiliated is supposed to be helping people. So yes, the system is a disgrace, not only to the people but to itself. So if I look like a crazy or a raging lunatic, before you judge me for that, you might understand. You could say I have multiple personalities, but It's a version. So if you're living in your car and you're homeless and you're that way because they say God tells you that you have to be aware of Christ consciousness. It's because it gives you by you being there, it gives you something to put on and bully you and use it as an excuse for better money. But you go fight in your streets and destroy your own cities instead of getting through to trying to get through to the people. How you say, oh well, these people that you really think are you sure about that? Or is it just you haven't hit that heart string because you're too busy trying to manipulate? See, I went in to pet store today. I went in to get some cat food. While I was in there, I was looking at the cats. That's get them the fuck out of there. They have me behind plexiglass. In, in, there's nothing in it but a fucking. That's cruelty to animals. Even some they'll say, "Oh, they're spiritual." If you're spiritual and you're fucking agreeing with putting an animal like behind something like that, then you're not. No, you're just as much to blame as the people that are doing it or telling you how it's done. When I was there today, I seen two like they weren't kids, they were older, and one of them was trying. It was like it was trying to suck along, and then it just finally submitted. So I told the people, "Oh, no, you just want the fucking profits. You're nothing but a fucking ignorant, greedy asshole." I felt I felt like it's almost like I had that urge if I could smash that or if I could take out all those cats with me, I would. But they want $300 a cat. Seriously, there's no home for it, but you want to charge $300 a cat? Why not just give it away? Seriously, you're not looking out for the well-being of the cat or the animal if you're doing that. Especially like at the SPCA too. It's like $900 or something like that to obtain a dog from the SPCA. I called them $900 because they say, well, you're being charged for their spayed and neutered. Nine chances out of 10, most of those animals that go in there are already spayed and neutered. So they're charging you for a surgery they didn't fucking do. And they do that every fucking time. Discipline to be smooth. Then I went over to ask them. See, I think that these pet stores and the pet stores and the veterinarians, they all collaborate together. Because I went into PetSmart and when I was in there, I asked them if they clean cats. Give me all the information, and then at the end of it, she said, "Does your cat have its break? Your cat, you have when you come in, you have to bring the proof or certificate or whatever it is that you get, saying that your cat got its rabies shot." But yet, when you go in there with your animals, you don't get asked. Like, but people say, well, when you're grooming them, you might get bit. That was the only place that I ever seen that requested that. And see, the thing was, they wanted to charge me between $28 to $35 for a consultation to meet your cat. It's never been groomed before. So you pay that, and then you pay another $70 to get your cat groomed at another time. But she said that, oh, well, we brush your cat's hair and we clip its nails. So after she said that, oh yeah, I wasn't polite about it either. I just like no. And I told them that it's ridiculous that they do that too. But that came after I said about the cats in the cage. Sorry, behind plexiglass, all right, like except for on the sides. All on the front, all on the back, but then these little holes to like compartments, little holes poked in. When they used to have the pet stores, they had a thing where like the cats had an actual climbing space and everything like that, but not anymore. You got the fucking cage, and you should be shut down. Pet stores should not be allowed to sell pets. We want us to. We actually rescued him from the pet store because he was malnourished. This is the part of the spirituality. This is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be bringing it forward, getting others to share so that they can release it, so that they can find those answers, give them a safe space so they can vent it out. This should be your safe space. And anybody that comes in your room and tells you you're too much or this or that, tell them to go fuck yourself, rotate and spin till you get to the fucking elbow and then fly right off. Because those people that do it, they have courage. Because they can speak their truth even if it fucking shakes and you're afraid of them. So that's why I say, if people don't like you, that's fine. Getting it. Physically annoying. My channel's Spirit to Spirit. If people are wondering, like, what the fuck is going on there, like, you're feeling something, and then I guess it's a spirit within me that's connected with the spirit within you because I don't see it. people as persons. I look past the physical and I see it's like people tell me I can't. You don't know what I'm thinking. You're feeling. You're fucking right, I do. Because if I'm feeling in my body, I know it's not because it wasn't feeling like that. So that's why I say I know that things are spirit to spirit because it's past spirit of my own. It's past spirit of spirit itself, like others, because we're all one. So if we're all one, then we're going to experience not only our spirit aspect of it, but others too, because it's all connected. So when you're healing, and when you're living out on the streets, because you say you don't want to be part of the system. Well, that's not the way to be part of the system. But being a homeless person on the streets, that's not going to solve shit. It's not going to bring you back to your family that you feel you lost. The guy said about it, and then the psychiatric unit, you know, get out, and he went homeless. A drifter, right? Like just somebody walking the streets homeless. And he talks to himself, but I know he's talking with spirit. But he's going about it all wrong. He was never supposed to be somebody who, like, you felt like you were supposed to, in order to follow God. No, that's following the fucking system. Following God is breaking the system, exposing the system, terraforming the system, transforming the system into what works for everyone. And it starts with you, like him. He's gifted, but he's wasting his gifts on just walking around and nobody wanting to be around him. It's not about us being angry and fucking bitter and wanting to fucking kill everybody or tear people apart because of this reason or that reason. Get off the streets. You know, community services. Any of you are out there listening that work there, do your fucking job. Because you're supposed to be getting these people off the streets. Maybe they don't want to work in the job that, the system tries to set aside for it. Go watch the movie Ants. The locusts, the grasshoppers. Says right on there, let one ant stand up, and then they all will. Good, because we're here to pluck their wings. These are the flying grasshoppers. And not even all of them will be part of that. Diciamo la scelta. L'istituto lì, yeah, I just heard she looks evil. Looks can be deceiving. Is it that I look evil? Or is it because I'm pissed off and irritated? True evil, the different evil. just because people went to protests or anything or stuff like that. It doesn't really mean shit because I've seen both sides falling at me. So if you're still falling at me, that was it. Seriously. Some will say you have unclean spirits. Well, there's a lot of unclean spirits in the world, isn't there? That's what people would say. Because every spirit has its story. It started, and we're only hearing fragments of it. So when I was at the pet store and she told me that, well, cat food I was going to buy, I don't really shop at Walmart because I just don't like it. But I went to Walmart. I was only going to get one bag at that other place, but I got two at Walmart. So this is the part of what spirituality is. It's not easy. It's not something that you can start and then just say, "Oh well, I don't want to." Well, I mean, you can, but it's going to keep flaring up and it's going to keep coming at you because you were chosen to go through it at that time. It was your time. It's like watching The Matrix and the gold guy or whoever he was that shot the other two and tried to kill Neo. He was all for it, and he just didn't want to be for it anymore. He wanted back in the system because he wanted the luxury. So then he had like they were living underground and stuff like that. That's the same. That's going from the sublime to the ridiculous. Teach each other how to stand up. Teach each other how to speak their truth. Teach each other how to find their own fucking answers within them instead of profiting off of something that you interpret for them. Teach them how to interpret it themselves. I did it with my sister. I got her to read the cards and read them out loud. And she'd look at me and say, "Well, what does that mean?" And I'd say, read it again. And what does it feel like it's saying to you? Look at your experience and what it's saying to you. Because when I got her to do that, the cards had told her exactly what I had just explained to her. And when I got her to see it for herself and make that analyzing decision herself, come to that herself, that's what she understood and the light bulb. Stiamo toreando, vestito potente e non c'è nulla. So you might see through your eyes, but your heart sees it and feels it. This is what spiritual truth is. It's not about being a therapist for the person, it's about teaching the person how to be a therapist for themselves. No, I'm not here. I'm just thinking about it. I'm not a robot either. So I am consciousness, energy, and truth, and love, the universe, the earth, the planets, because it all lives within you. But they tell you it's the human child. What do you think your cells are? Don't they fire up? They light up? Seriously, what lights up the cells? Stars. Did I get too technical for you, or did I go too deep? This is spirituality. This is spiritual truth. Understanding that you are the connection, not somebody else. That person is their own connection. You are your connection. You are the circuit. Just a little question. You have the parts of you that like you're working on staying. That's the way of whether universes are able to live side by side and the interference is coming in on one another's universe and trying to be in control of it because you're out of control in your own. And you feel out of control in your own. So you feel like you have to control someone else's to be in control. Makes fucking sense. I never heard of that. How I heard that way. I understand. Yes, I do fucking. I take my glasses off because if anybody's commenting, I can't read the comments. C'est là une mouche again. Il y a beaucoup de qui motoricite que like Jesus said, he was going to turn Mary Magdalene into me. It's like, fuck, did you think that through? Era tutto adesso non mi chiamerai. Purita. Look at it. Yesterday. Yeah, the anger of the masculine and the wrath and the rage of the feminine, especially when it's rising. You have to clear. See, those higher up in your systems know exactly who you are, and that's why they want you to be addicted, poor, sick, blinded by its own ignorance. This is what you see on my channel. This is what spirituality is. It's not all about being sweet and kind and innocent, because none of us are all completely that. Because when you're all that, all the time, that's when you get wrong. That's when you get into the system. Some people like being in the system because it's comfortable. If it's so comfortable, why do we hear other people complaining about it that they're supposed to be comfortable? It's like when we were kids, we were playing Red Rover, Red Rover. It's like Red Rover, Red Rover. I call my family over. And see, the thing is, both sides are my family. The light, darkness, the light, the shadow, sun, moon, yin, yang. But see, when you separate from yourself, if that's happening, it's because you're looking for a part of you that you feel is missing. But is it actually missing? Or did you forget it? Because everything else along the way pushed it down and suppressed it. And you fought it and tried it. See, when you become spiritually aware, spirit awareness, you're going to feel more of a connection, not only to yourself, but others on a much deeper level, because you're going to understand them for yourself. That's why you see my body go through what it does, and that's why I explain what it is. Absolutely. Nobody loses with you. No, there's not. Might be one few. I know there's 8 billion people in the world, and I've only met like maybe, who knows how many, but I know I didn't meet that much. When you're see the spiritual truth, you will learn how to navigate through the system. You will learn what direction to go because your intuition, your connection will guide you. Yes, it may take you down the road that you weren't expecting or you didn't want to go down for one reason or another. But if you were taken down that road, ask yourself, what is spirit showing you? See, I don't say God because God sounds it's like I'm all that. Spirit is all that is. God is to me more of a worshiper. I am a God. I am superior. Spirit is spirit. feel people sitting with that, but it's like she left us hanging. No, because I heard somebody say Holy Spirit. Yeah, I did hear you. It's not for me to give you the answer. I'm putting something out there for you to understand and see it for yourself. I can't make you see it or understand it, but I can help you to make sense of it. So this past year, it's been like with my lives and that, it's been more constant because Spirit has been bringing so much to me, showing me, experiencing so much where I actually lost family because I spoke truths that they didn't want to hear. Do you think I wanted to? Do you think I was comfortable bringing on my own? It's not to make people look bad or feel bad. Holy. It's about saying, I see it. I'm releasing it. I'm showing you that this is where our problems lie. I'm facing that part of it. Why aren't you? It's like, bring it. I can feel that. It's like right here. It's like, chakra, come on. Dusika mapatia turiya na. It's like we silence ourselves in many ways because we're afraid to say something for fear that we're going to lose somebody. And if you lose family members because you're trying to address something that's needed to be addressed for years, but never did because nobody wanted to hear it, you want to break the system. The limited beliefs. Then you have to do it. You have to tell your story. I know someone that, they're dying of cancer. Okay. And it could have been avoided had the doctor actually listened to the patient. It's like, speak your story. Go on and speak your story. Somebody, the right person, will hear it because there'll be many people who can relate to it. Most of the time, cancer can be avoided. Any illness can be avoided. And it all starts with your medical system having the heart and listening to the patient, opposed to its own ego in the books. Because maybe it's physical, but maybe it's all spiritual. Because mental health, spiritual health causes an imbalance in your body, which lowers your immune system, which the system likes that. So why aren't you exposing it instead of talking about it? Like, instead of like, complaining about it. If you want something done about it, speak up about it. Maybe you can't go sue them, but right, but some places have no statute of limitations on it. Yeah, yeah, I am serious. Speak up. This is one big platform. Great person to hear it, and you never know what possibilities could happen for you. But you ain't going to get the help if you speak up about your wrongdoing. You know, it's not about how you look to others, it's how do you look to yourself. Yep, you impress yourself, not something else. So if you're on your spiritual journey and you figure, you want to step out of it, you're not going to do your spiritual work, you're going to get pissed off at the universe and spirit and what have you, it's only hurting you. Everyone is spiritually gifted. It says, have you chosen to tap into it yet? You're going to go up, you're going to go down, you're going to have those pitfalls, you're going to have those high jumps. And you're going to feel like nothing's coming in. Because if nothing's coming in, it's because you're waiting on it. You're expecting it to come in. So that's all you're focused on. Get out of sleeping in your couch because that's just causing more problems for you, more anxiety. Get off the streets, get off the drugs. If you can't get off them, you can still be like, I mean, you can if you try, but if you feel you can't, you can still be productive. You're only that you're that way because of a program. Some will say, some they're just nobody there. And I was watching a thing about one things that uh, Biden died in 2020 and was a clone after that. And then I read another thing where they said that Trump died in 2020 and there was a clone because Trump supposedly said that Biden was a clone. It's supposed to have been Trump that said it. So that's where you're seeing the conflict. On one side it's this one, on the other on another side it's this one. Hacemos batalla, ¿no? You're seeing split. How do you know that neither one of them actually exist and they're not just playing replays? Ooh, Photoshop. Que la mota de tu vista, No, some people are saying America's great, and other people are saying it's not. Some people like the chaos, and some people don't. I guess the people that like the chaos, they want to go down as a legend. They want to go down in history, no matter what side it takes. It's not because I don't want to converse with people. It's because I'm not here to debate. It's not about trying to convince me of anything and me not trying to convince you. It's about seeing it all for what it is. When I go into people's lives and their talking, I feel the whole room. Right? So sometimes I can come off in somebody else's room one way or another because spirit spirit feels the aggression of the people in the room when I'm trying to explain something. So spirit gets irritated. And one guy, and that's what I was trying to explain it. And I could feel the room. So there was a lot of religious people in there, and I could feel the room because I was speaking in spirit language. And then they were telling me that's demonic. Like, no, that's not demonic. You're just fucking warped into believing that it's demonic, the same as you believe like of witchcraft. And but yeah, okay. Jesus was going and making potions. He was picking up sand, spitting on it, turning it to mud, and putting it on somebody's eye. Because Jesus and Yeshua, they understood it. Jesus was more of a warlock. Fiery warlock, addictive warlock he could be too. But that's if you crossed him in a way that hurt his family or hurt his ego. Jesus was rebellion, and Yeshua just went around trying to help people. Like, get out the open. You had to do a little ceremony. I feel now I'm seeing it. It's like a bunch of stoners sitting around. I'm not being rude. Jesus was rah, rah, rah. It's like shit, man. So that's how, like, when I'm like, I could feel like when I was in there, it's like Jesus was flipping shit. Okay. And Jesus was more connected with animals than he was people, but he was tough. A lot of ego. Yeah. He would give you the shit off his back. Sometimes to his own detriment because he was trying to be accepted. Seen those videos where they have to say it's the red slums and say it's Nibiru. But see, that's just the beginning. You're going to see so many more planets out there, and they're going to be close, and it's going to be cool to see. Some people don't want to believe that, but it was a description in the Bible, but I didn't see it. But I've seen it when I died in Quebec. I've seen it through visions, dreams, like holy shit. Like any rule of this, as far as the eye can see, hallelujah. Stars are planets. We perceive them as being balls of light. They are, but what's within it? From the inside out. Oh my shit. Don't you go far. I tell him not to go far, and there's like 11 acres here, 4 or 5 of it, which is all, well, not all cleared. It's got a bunch of trees. Pretty beautiful. I'm really proud of my ex-husband. He's been doing a lot of work. He's been doing a lot of planting of berry bushes, trees, and other shrubs and plant life. He didn't do food because it's harder to do food when he's disabled. But I will be honest, we end up in the end, a lot of time we end up disabling ourselves because we disable ourselves by saying that we can't do something. So we program ourselves into thinking that we're going to always be disabled. I was disabled. I'm still considered disabled because, I can't work and like, people that work with me. Where'd you come from? My mother. You're not the one that you think. Not my earth mother. I did come from her. I came from spirit. That's better. It's a head scratcher, man. Don't quit your spiritual work. Don't expect something to come in because others are saying, oh, it's coming, it's coming. Does it keep you going back to them for readings? Oh, they didn't like that. It will come in when it's meant to come in and as it's meant to come in. It's not about looking for it. It's not about expecting it. And somebody's saying this timeline or this timeline between this time and that time. Spirit does not say to live on the street. Spirit does not say to be poor. Spirit wants you to be gentle and kind. Doesn't mean giving all your stuff away. A system wants you to believe that because it's more for them. They can't fill their own cups, so they get to steal everyone else's. Instead of speaking to the body you see in front of you, speak to the spirit because those spirits are coming in connection with one another for a reason. If it's aggression, it's because it was something they experienced, and you're the medium. You're here to help those spirits together. That's the part of your chosen, because everyone's chosen. So you like when like that so-called call is in front of you, are you going to answer, or are you going to hit? You never know, because it's not going to go away, and you can't walk it. See, spirit is stronger than you are, and that's why we're experiencing what we're experiencing in life. What you see, the world is supposed to be in chaos. You're seeing that. You're seeing those spirits show you yourself and each other. Some don't like that because I felt that in here because maybe I didn't explain it the way you would. Ikamatotui. Alasulaikutoria tukutusinta. So you ask for help from the Spirit. But when the help is there in front of you, you deny it. It's on you if you deny it, because the help is always sent. You just don't see it because you're too busy feeling sorry for what you don't have or what you believe that somebody else can fix or should be fixing for you. Because I've heard many people make it go away, make it go away. They can't make the nightmare go away, and you can do that. This is a spiritual truth. Don't stop doing your spiritual work because these other people are saying it's coming in, it's coming in. It's not coming in because you're looking for it. You're listening to somebody else other than spirit, because if you're listening to them, you're not listening to spirit. You're not going forward. Are you moving towards it? Because moving towards it would mean that, you believe in yourself. So I think everyone, because we're all spirit, I think spirit. So if I'm thinking spirit, I'm thinking you all for what you put up here so that I can see things from a different perspective and see how people see the life of others and themselves. You want to encourage others to go towards a better life for themselves. But you have to do the same. You have to teach one another how to help themselves. It's like, yep, not holding. Because you're no better than, if you do that, you're no better than the people that wrote fucking more than toilet paper when COVID started. That was sad. It's like, yep, go grab a fucking face cloth and just keep washing it. You got a sink, don't you? Please get the music up there blaring so we can mess up company. Because it's their fucked up music. No, And I can tell the music right in here gives me irritation. It's like that PTSD, but others don't understand that. When my ex said about the PTSD today, and I said, "Where I got it." Well, he whistles. And before what happened to me, I didn't mind whistling. I didn't have a big problem with it. It irritated me. But since the 20th, or since 2020, April 2020, when I had my experience, bad one, I heard whistling just before that. But he gets irritated when I asked him not to whistle. And I even told him why it bothers me. That's the part of growth, the spiritual growth. Like, you want a partner, but you don't want to, like he says about me speaking my language. Now, that's because it irritates his demons. That's not something that he experienced a traumatic event from. Maybe, yeah, or I just thought maybe he was speaking it and he got in trouble for it. Well, that's on him with regards to that, because I keep telling people, if you are able to speak that, you've got to speak it. Don't be afraid of what other people think of you. But I understand that part where that could be a PTSD. But I never asked him to stop speaking, nor should he have ever. And whoever tried getting someone to stop speaking, you're an asshole. That means that people's authenticity irritates you because you're incapable of being authentic yourself. But that's only because you're holding yourself. See, I can't say that waking up or like coming awake early or late because I know that it's not about regret because I woke up at the time that I was supposed to. I used to have a PTSD with regards to a certain hairspray. I had a PTSD, but it wasn't the hairspray, it was the smell and the taste it gave me in my nose, and that was a PTSD because of my overdose when I was 17. I took a bunch of sleeping pills. So that smell when I sprayed it and I could taste it, that was a trigger for me. This is the part of the spiritual. This is the part of the spiritual awakening, and you want others to understand, but you can't understand somebody if you're not explaining what it is. The system tells you to shut up and not talk about it because, like I said, know I'll be where I need to be when I need to be there. Sometimes I have my own resistance. It's like there's so much rage in here within people, and they're holding it in and bottling it up, and they're taking it out on other people. I'm not. I'm taking it out on the ones that you know that's causing me the pain. Catching the energy, just be in it and sit with it. I know when people are truly connected with spirit because I can feel it. I feel it in my heart. I feel the radiation radiating, and I feel the frequencies and vibrations of people when they're off and not aligned. I can feel them coming a long way away. You see the images, and they show that they stabbed Jesus in the heart. This is your shoulder, Jesus, right here. Here's the heart. They were trying to kill love. What people perceive meanings of certain things, but you have no idea. So that's why I say now, was it Mary Magdalene on the cross? And when I said that they killed love, tried to kill love, do you think it's possible that Mary Magdalene was actually pregnant with what you were looking for, with what you were waiting for? And they stabbed, they killed the baby? Don't want to think about that, do you? That's pretty cold, huh? But you'll say, oh no, why do you think there's such a fucking uproar? You know, they tried to say that Mary Magdalene had seven demons. No, it was because Mary Magdalene was breaking the seven seals, the seven chakras, which they would call the seven demons or seven spirits. But you know, you'll still believe that it was a man on the cross in a man's world. But people say that's blasphemy. It's not in the Bible that way. No, there's a lot of stuff that's not in the Bible, isn't there? This is finding out spiritual truths. It's not about going and reading the cards. The cards and that, and it's not witchcraft. It's helpful tools, but they got to be used appropriately. That's the same as when they said that the aliens brought fire to the people, or the aliens brought certain things to the people, and they were left to their own fucking devices and not taught. There's only supposed to be tools. They're not supposed to be something that you're supposed to be using all for your life. Teach people how to tap into their gifts, not try to hoard, like not try to like keep their gifts suppressed so that you can profit off of yours. And I know there's like ones on here that, you know, you're not for real readers. But I know it takes time to learn. Maybe you're not supposed to be reading readers. And that's why it's not coming naturally. Yes, I am psychic, but I don't have to prove it to anyone because I will be honest. I've already proved it many times, but you just you know, they say we wear the scars of our past lives. The funny thing is, that there are times where I get pain right in here where I feel like I've been stabbed. It feels like I've been stabbed. It's like sometimes right there, and I still like I get pain in here, but they never find anything. Do you ever think that that's what they were doing? I don't know. Me, Yeshua wasn't Jesus' father. But I did say that before. But maybe if it was Mary Magdalene and she was pregnant, maybe she was pregnant for Yeshua's baby. Because I'm telling you, if you guys really still think that man doesn't have to cross in a man's world, yeah, killed on the cross and then burnt at the stake. You know what went dark? You know, if they, if I believe it was Mary Magdalene, she was pregnant and they stabbed the baby. And that's what would create the black clouds. See, Mary Magdalene was a healer. Mary Magdalene could heal herself because she was the one healing. When love unites, that's when the healer shows up. So you guys are trying to figure out history when you're not even looking at it. What are they doing to women right now? Seriously, the crucifixion of the woman, the feminine. And the two at her side, what you say was that Jesus' side? Was it possible that she was in the middle and Jesus and Yeshua were on the sides? And they were said to be the thieves. You know, they tried to kill what you perceive to be God, the Holy Trinity, right? The Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. Do you fucking get it yet? Yep. Maybe Mary Magdalene went for reinforcements because her sister was part of the underworld. I'm not your average channel. I'll make you laugh, I'll make you cry, I'll piss you off, I'll slap and punch me upside my head. Hate me, like me, loathe me, love me. Be my masculine, feminine, but it all depends on you which one you're gonna get. I see some readers on here and they say it like sometimes your enemies think you're putting curses and hexes on them. No, they're doing that all by themselves. Hang on, it's coming in. Are you ready for the aftershock, everyone? Shit, man, hang on tight. It's going to get bumpy and rough. Cool. I went to that once. I went with somebody, and I was a kid. They had to ask my parents if I could go, and they left me there. They went drinking and left me there. I had to come home on my own. I had to call somebody to get me. Like, how rude. That was like, oh my gosh. I was like 13. Kimoto Kahana. Esse é um muy I gotta put more stuff in the hummingbird feeder. See, I don't know how the co-host thing works, for one, because sometimes I see people and they have two screens and one on each side, and it's like they're fighting, like they're doing some kind of dual fighting thing or what have you, and I'm not into that. If you want to bring me on here to ask me questions or what have you, that may be different. I'm like I'm with this with regards to that. I'm holding myself back. because I'm nervous because I don't know how people take me. Exactly. Yeah, I'm very misunderstood. It's like people so close but so far away. Yeah, well, really? I use your My ass hurts. I have a very uncomfortable chair. I like the height of it though. I like it. It's uncomfortable. There's no cushion. Like sometimes I look like I got a big ass, but with those cheeks separate, it's all bone. Sí, culturę. I ma to priešą lietuvoje. Yep. You just sit with it, and some people think you're crazy and don't flinch, but you're going through past life regressions and remembering. Like the wind, hearing the wind chimes. I go and read by my desk. It's down here, so sometimes I can just ping it to hear it. See me doing this. I know that it helps release things for me, but I can feel it helping others to release things for themselves too, because it helps. They start remembering their stuff. But you gotta let yourself feel through it. It's made us angry. It's made us feel weak, and it's took our lives from us, families, and friends. It took our connection from us, and that's what you're here to take. Take your connection back where you're not trying to go outside yourself. If you're doubting yourself, I have to understand. Tell your story. Even if I don't see it, somebody will. But I do flip through between like a frequency binger, and now I like flip through TikTok and that to see. Sometimes I'll start watching something and then it's like I hear what I need to hear and then I scroll. So sometimes I'll go back and listen to something over again just to make sure that I heard it or understood it. And if you're feeling in that moment and want to tell your story and don't want to worry about what other people think because the right people all around between the crown and the third eye right here, which would be the I didn't learn it. I started remembering it and speaking it. Yeah, right now it's like I'm experiencing. We hear people having conversing about Jesus and Yeshua. Yep. Maybe that's why I get irritated around like angry people when it's like all you have around. Like if you're around and it's just constant smoking weed. So I don't want anyone who smokes, uses drugs. I use CBD. I don't smoke it though. Then I don't use it for recreational. And I will be honest, like if somebody is smoking marijuana constantly and they say they're using it as a medication, then I'd say you're abusing the medication because that would be the same as if you were taking your pills all the time. That's like, I mean, people say it relaxes them. I understand that, but there's other ways of doing it. Relaxing. It's not about trying to look good for others to be looked up to. Teach about people that others will look up to. And yes, right now my body feels like it's going to charge. Yeah. I just experienced like screaming and then just yeah, it is sometimes, but I found like it's ow, when you know what you're going through and experiencing, you understand that it's easier. But like, don't stop with your spirituality, your spiritual growth. Because the growth is the reward. And the more you have spiritual growth, the more rewards you receive. So, take card readings as a grain of salt because it's for a collective, as they say, a collective. You can't give one specific person or what have you. So if you're attributing it to you can't on that aspect. You can't blame it so much on the reader because they were wrong. Okay, it's how you interpret it. It didn't necessarily mean that it was going to be you, but it was meant for maybe someone. Maybe something did happen for someone, but it didn't for you. But please come out of your curse, come out of the streets. Because you're probably the ones that are experiencing the call. They think that you have psychosis, but you're actually hearing spirit. No, you're not crazy. Welcome to spiritual enlightenment. Welcome to the awakening. All truth. The ones they tell you are fiction. Fiction came from somewhere, didn't it? Oh, sudah po niya. Siguro, siguro sa tulis ito. Dance now. It's like, get your groove on. Sometimes it's gonna feel like a fucking horrible roller coaster. Speaking of roller coaster, back in 2007, I was at Edmonton Mall, and they have the roller coaster in there, and I went on it with my youngest son because we had never been there before. And you would think that the thing wasn't even. Oh my shit! Holy crap! I just freaking noticed that. If you look at me, my son It almost looks like the same person. I never, like, noticed that before. He's like, we were told, my youngest son's cousin told me and my son and my son, the young and oldest son, that said that we have the Grinch smile from one ear to the other. Dice que ella no puede, yeah, I feel it. Wait, ya la coite por el show, so, the other day I had somebody comment and say, "She gets out, she leaves the house." It's like, "Yeah, I left tonight." Right now, I have to be content because I don't have the money to go on a trip or anything like that right now. And I know that when it's time for me to go on a trip or a vacation or what have you, that, you know, I will be provided for. Maybe I'll be like my dad and just take it and go. Take the money and go. That's what he used to do. That was someone say, "Oh well, it's good that you get to have no responsibilities. You can just pick up and go whenever you want." It's like seriously, for somebody to say that to someone, you're an asshole. But you would be the first to go if you could, even if you were in the same boat. I've actually seen people like that. I'm not been anywhere, and like, and then when I said about getting my passport, it's like, "Oh, where are you going?" It's like, do I have to have a plan to go anywhere right now? It's like, dang, like I could say, when I do go, are you going to miss me? Probably not, but I ask, are you going to miss me? Or are you going to say, "Yay, she's gone"? The feminine rising. Mary Magdalene revealed the first apostle for feminist gospel and the Christianity we haven't tried yet. and people demonize the word feminism. Feminism. It's the ones that hate men that get feminism a bad rap. Because Mary Magdalene didn't hate men. Mary Magdalene was going after the systems, empowering people. She too was healing people. I believe, how do you know that she actually wasn't the one? Like I said, Mary Magdalene and Jesus, I believe, were mother and son. That's hence the age difference. Maybe, something like, well, I said, and they found each other and they aligned their chakras together. They found they found out the truth of it all, of what really happened. So I said, was it Yeshua? Because I did have a vision where it was like I was running towards someone and I heard the words Yeshua. But they didn't let me remember who I was seeing. How rude! Yeah, yeah, one day with my went running through here. I ran off from here because I felt like my oldest son was lost. I ran, following his name, and then I dropped at the foot of the cross. That was put across. Don't know who did it, but it was in the middle of my path, and that was the day that I was told to pick up the stick and walk. And after that's when I really started waking up. Since 2020, I can resonate with Mary Magdalene, and I never followed the Bible, and I still don't follow the Bible. Spirit brings truth to me, and then Spirit will sometimes get me to look within the biblical text, or sometimes pull some cards to see what comes out, to see, like, to show myself, to show me that, what I bring forward is what I'm bringing forward. This is my Temu dress. I think this year I might want to wear dresses more than shorts or something, but I will be honest, some like pants are really irritating me sometimes. It's like, get them off. But it's more of the material, because I know if the right material, then you feel like you had nothing on, which is like what it should be like. If that's something that fucking agitates your body and you just want to get the hell off once you walk through the door, and then you feel like you're going to have to take it off before you even get in the door. Or you're somewhere's out, or you're out somewhere, and it's like, fuck, I want my clothes off. It's that your body, you're trying to expand, and it's like claustrophobic. It's like, fuck, man. Like, I understand where my ex-husband would say about he would overheat, but I'm not overheating. I'm just like, get off. It's like or not Hercules. It's like the Incredible Hulk. So it's like, fuck, man. And then you get it off. It's like, I can breathe. So it's like, shit, I want to expand so I can, like, just lift off the ground and say, ah, just don't be afraid of me. It's like, yeah, even if I think right now, this, like, the way things are right now, if somebody's seen something like that live where somebody levitated and they were physically flying, and they got it on video, there would still be those people that would say, no, that's Photoshop, or there's something hanging, they're hooked to something. Dice că totul este mutai. Like, yeah, you really don't want me looking in the eye. Kimse emotional, bisiklet prekriam motorai. I, you know, to some, I could be too much, but I'm not going to make myself small. I already did that, and it fucking hurt. So I guess if I'm too big for you or too much, then maybe you should stay away from me. But it's your loss. Right there, I just felt like I felt the expansion. It was like, I really, like, I have a punching bag that I really feel I should put up, because when I have those bursts of energy, it's like, punch on a punching bag. Well, but we just, big bag because it's like getting pent up, like not pent up energy, but expansion of energy in your body. Because sometimes it's like shit, man. It's like that's why like you see me just holding energy, just be sitting here like this. Doesn't matter where I'm at. I've been moving my hands because I'm tweaking it. And as I said, I'm tweaking it. I felt it come up here and shit. If it was in my head, I don't know what I do. Like what they get from a freaking EEG or whatever the hell they are. Last time they did a cardiogram on me, they couldn't get a reading. Not just one time, but 10 times. Two different machines. And that was just, that was not even, might have been, it was like a month or two before I, like, when I started, like, a month to 2 months before I died. It's like I had so much coming up that I had nothing left in my guts. It was nothing but acid, thick liquid, and crystals. And I mean thick liquid where I could blow bubbles like I had fucking chewing gum in my mouth. But I never stopped because I wasn't getting a reward, because I accepted it, not expecting a reward. Because, sometimes it feels like you're or offered money or help your family. Like sacrifice, take money and let your family go down, or sacrifice yourself for your family. I chose to sacrifice myself for my family. Maybe they were getting the money. Like I caught that. And it wouldn't be like I bet I wouldn't suspect it anyway. It's like people that fight and say, like, yeah, you know, if you stole it, if people stole from me, it's like, yeah, you'd be giving it, and maybe with interest too. But I think I'd like want it back more through like watching them heal. Spirit upstairs switched again. You know, I just wish he'd get his shit together so he can take care of his own spirits. It's like catching for yourself. I'm looking down at the two trees and it's formed. It's like you have like a smooth, like a face over here, and then you have like a face over here, and it's like they're going like this to each other. It's called imagination. Like it's what I'm seeing. It's like using that inner child to see. Like when you look up at the clouds and what have you, it's like, going beyond the veil. Like, wouldn't people shit if all of a sudden trees started just lifting up out of the ground and fucking walking on their roots? It would be pretty fucking freaky, but qu'est-ce que tu un autre océan? I'm visualizing right now. But I'm seeing it. Like, so it's like if you watch the series Once Upon a Time, the last season, and they have Mother Gothel. She's so angry because the humans went in and killed her family because she was a nymph of the earth. She flowers don't grow. She's very pleasant. And the humans, rich humans, went and killed her family because they were said to. She said the rich person said they were abomination. No, they were not the abomination. Your ignorance was. So in the series, she got bitter and she hated humans. So towards the end of the season, she had a covet, and they were turning into trees. It was being part of the new earth. So it was kind of looking at it that way, and then that curse got broke. But it's how what it signifies is nature and humanity being able to unite together, come together, and live as one. Live as like not destroying everything. We destroy life, whether it be the life of animals, nature, or each other. You scream about the tree huggers and stuff, right? And this thing that fucking assholes doing in Ottawa or Ontario. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Doug Ford, and all those that helped to pass it. You're more concerned with your fucking pocketbook than your people. You should be hung up by your ankles. And I didn't say until you died, but I mean, you should be hung up by your ankles. I say you were a mobster. Probably did those to a few people yourself, jackass. spiritual truth is it's not looking to the money, the profit, or but I will be honest, people are stupid enough to vote them back in. I guess you people don't like nature. Maybe you should get out in it. Some might like it. Oh wait, they do sometimes. They go into nature to hurt someone. They'll go into nature to fucking find a lake or a pond or a brook or something where they can drown someone. You vote thugs in. This is a part of spiritual truth. And you know the rest of the government that let them do that, that passed this bill, you all get what you could come to. So you can make right now, or you can wear it later. I don't care if you're Republican, Democratic, liberal, conservative. I don't give two shits. The biggest majority of you are crooked. And you got your petition wrong for it. Yeah, it's like Elon Musk. If you think you got a fucking key to the city, the person that gave it to you, they're not of sound mind. So anything that they've done would be overturned. It was not to the benefit of all, which was most of it. I was listening, and it was another one. Heard of a billionaire, Minnesota or something, giving the keys to somewhere. Trump said that they could have this place. Trump is of no authority to give anybody anything, even if he was of sound mind. I watched another video where a woman was on there saying about she like hurricane wildfires. Has the United States sent help yet? Have they sent firefighters and water bombers and what have you, like Canada did when they were on fire? Even when we were going through the bullshit. Oh wait, no, we wouldn't be able to do that because donut make shit balls of cuts. No, when you watch that thing at The Simpsons, Donald Trump would leave the place burned because, you know, probably knows he's dying. You know, I feel sorry for him in life, living in an endless hell and torment inflicted by his own father. Maybe he wasn't even a real father. He was their half sister. Because, you know, he's only doing what he knows. He grew up around. So say, it's like say about them protecting him. They created him, and now they're trying to throw him under the bus. You know, they always try to use someone as a scapegoat to make them look like they're utterly fucking insane, to drive them insane. Maybe he was little, maybe he was the sweetest little boy. You know, daddy didn't like that. His daddy was a monster. See, you know, people were sad about Donald Trump not knowing anything that's said in the Bible. Well, I guess I'd be fucked too because I know too. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, and whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. And then, Our Father, thou art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us give us daily bread as we forgive. Oh shit, I didn't like, it's like, yeah. I know I have it there. It's like, because it was that part of, it took me back to in 99 when, before I had my exorcism, I went to my parents took me to the hospital after I got out of the hospital. They took me over to Emerge because they wanted to see if I could stay at the hospital for a couple of days because they wanted to go on vacation. But we went there, and I was sitting with the therapist, the psychiatrist, and a residential student, and I started reciting the Lord's Prayer. And right around that time that I just stopped talking, that's what happened. So it's like, Our Father, thou art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us for our trespasses, and please forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thy is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. That's you. It's talking about your internal. And when they talk about men with men, they're referring to men and adolescent boys, children. But will you interpret it that way or see it that way? No, because they led you to believe that they were talking about gay sex with adults. No, it was the children. You just keep interpreting it that way. Maybe a man and a man cannot make a child, and a woman cannot make a child. And I'm not talking about transgender because I'm telling you, you have female parts, you have a baby. You have a woman that identifies as a man, that's still not a man having a baby because you're using female parts. Like, do people realize, like, when you say that these certain women that some are saying are men, which I kind of did connection myself. Do you not like sit and realize you say, well, they were pregnant. Okay. How would you like to go to a baby store and buy me a belly bump? Please. Because you can get, you know, that much money, and that much power. It's not hard to go buy a belly bump and make it look real. Because how many pictures do you see any pictures of them with their belly showing? And just think for a minute of what they do with makeup. because it goes against the church, right? But that's not what it meant. See, what I bring forward, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm saying, it makes pretty good sense. See, people talk about people with like handlers. It's like, like do people think that I don't feel or I kind of experience and feel like my ex-husband was a handler. He was in the military. And, when I'm too much for someone and he's with me, they'll give him the dirty look. Because I actually have a video with regards to the dentist. They were looking at each other and it was like, I can't control her. Because the dentist was like giving him a dirty look. And the dentist was actually one that was in the military, a dentist from the military. And he even went like that to me. And I felt it like, because that was right after I told him, like, I know you're irritated with me. Like, actually, I have it up on my TikTok. And he just went like the dentist. He went like that, and I felt him kind of like try and throw his energy at me. And I said, and I forget what I said. Well, it's on the video. He told me to leave. I told him like, don't do that to me. It's like seriously, because I actually was one where it was like I was in an underground bunker type thing. And me and this other person were in the room, and this other person was screaming and crying because they were coming for us. So I touched the person, and they went right out. Like it was like they went to sleep. And before they even like got in the ones got in the room, I was laying on the bed backwards, and my legs were hanging over. My legs lifted up, so my body went straight. I levitated off of the bed, and I started floating down out the door, down the hallway, past people at probably about waist level. And then at the end, I got to this person. And when I got to the person, I stood up, like, went like that and floated. eye to eye. And I seen they had a military badge, and then all of a sudden I was in another room and there was like two men, there was people, men around me, and they had me down like that. And they have their hand like that. They're about to bust my neck. And then someone comes in and hollers out, no, she's invaluable. And then then it was like, I kind of like blanked out there. And then it was like I was walking through a government building, almost like a hospital or something, maybe. And they were taking me out. And when I was going by, I said about, like, I seen somebody and I said about they were dangerous. And then they were I heard the male say, get her to the car now. And then we got to the car and I heard somebody say, where is Michael? So whether it was perceived to be Archangel Michael, because they say Michael is a protection, or what. But then all of a sudden I was getting in the car and all of a sudden this man comes up around the car door to come towards me, and I put my hand up to stop him from trying to come, and it was weird, but I couldn't hear the words. And I put my hands out and was like this. And then I was even more scared, and I just took it and I went like that. And when I went like that, I didn't touch them, but they went flying through the air, and I disappeared. I ended up in sports, and then I ended up in my bed. So it's that part that, okay, the part of invaluable, okay, it's the level of spiritual awakening, okay? Everyone has the gifts, and everyone is valuable for what they are here to do. It's like having that different mission. Yes. Oh, I know that. People already know that Trump is in the Epstein files. See, speaking of Epstein, like I had a vision, and they said that Epstein was hung. Was he? Or was it made to look like he was hung and he was taken somewhere else because they had to silence him? Because I had like a dream vision that I was down in, I don't know, some kind of dungy place, and it looked like a big fucking steel door, and it was a fucking creepy looking room. It was like something that, a torture chamber. And I seen somebody get a fucking sledgehammer right there, and it just cracked the skull right open. And then I looked and I seen somebody tell me that the one who did it had some kind of mask type thing on. It's like something you'd see out of this song. but it was like I was being taken, like it was something underground. People say about remote viewing. Shit, man, I've been in houses where like the houses started fucking like in division stuff. Like I was experiencing it. Houses fucking flooding. I was in one where I was walking. It was like I don't know if I was walking up a road, but there was water on both sides and going through, and then all of a sudden the water just comes and just takes everyone with it. You know, it was like a bridge. I was a little freaked out by one where it was like they had me laying on this bed, but the bed was like it's almost like it was lower to the floor, not like your average, but lower to like something you would have a kid bed, and surrounded around me were they were like beings because I couldn't see their face because it was just like one big fucking light bulb on each of them. So, you know, your spiritual awakening, your spiritual enlightenment, your spiritual truth, it's going to show you some fucking freaky shit. That's why you're having these dreams, and it feels like you wake up exhausted, or you wake up like, oh, that was cool. I've had other people tell me they're like what they perceive to be strange, like weird dreams, but it was like they were experiencing it. Shit, I was in somewhere like in a house, like it was like just fucking weird, and then I went out and I was, you know, and like riding a four wheeler, and then all of a sudden it was like I was leaping, jumping over some vehicles, and then friggin' driving over the rest, and like that. It was fucking weird. And I really felt like I was in it because I ended up going through like into a field. No, I don't write my dreams. I don't so much write my dreams down because I see them as being almost like not almost. I see them being like experience because it feels like it's like I'm really in it. So it's an experience. Like, shit, the night that I like fuck the night that that, like it was so real. I was walking and they were tearing down these buildings and they were made of fucking gingerbread. And then I was walking, it kept walking, and then all of a sudden, people were coming out of the sky to the ground. And one approached me and said they were my mother. And then a bunch of then myself and some other actors, we were put in this, it was like a room, a small room with about 4 bunk beds, 2 sets of bunk beds, and there was a baby there. I just heard somebody say, "You watch too much TV." No, I rarely watch TV. When I do watch something, it's usually the same 2 shows, Fuller House and Once Upon a Time. A Secret Dare to Dream or something like that. I like that one because it shows about manifestation. She went from working in a fishery, very unhappy, to her husband leaving behind a big gift, which was an invention that she knew nothing about. And the one that brought it to her was the one that died next to her husband. And he was the one that took it all the way and gave a deceased husband his credit. And then the mother-in-law tried to discourage her from being a nurse and wanted her to marry a man that she didn't love because he had money. Why are you going back to school? Because it was her dream. We're supposed to encourage our children to follow their dreams, even if we think they're stupid. To them, they're not. This is spiritual truth. This is what you're here to do. You're here to speak your truth, help others to speak theirs so that they too can rise above the system. It's not about you profiting. Especially by when you keep others coming back to you for their answers. That's the great. Teach them. Because if you're a good teacher, then you will compliment yourself. Because you will see how good a teacher you are. Because you would be leading by example. And it would shine through them. It wouldn't matter if they got better at it than you think you were or what have you. In a different room. Or you just kept yourself small. So with that being said, I'm sending you all much love. Lessons, most importantly, very good health to anyone and everyone wanting and willing to receive and accept. Control, be big, bold, brave, most importantly, be yourself, be your authentic self. Be true and kind to yourself, be true and kind to others, and know that you have more strength than you can comprehend. You got this. It's the naysayers that say that you don't because they don't have it themselves. So you do it and teach them. We be the example. We lead by example. We create leaders, not followers. Sending you on.